Hi, thanks for watching. I have a new card today featuring the new top of the class stamp set from Kitchen Sink Stamps. Let's get started. As you can see, this one features a ribbon, sort of like a prize ribbon. And there are a whole bunch of sentiments that you can use with your prize ribbon that are very encouraging and uplifting. Best, top, class, awesome, place. You could say top place, you could say first place. It goes first, second, third place. Amazing. So the sentiment that I use says, "You're the best teacher." And I'm showing you right now the stamp alignment guide that comes with your order of kitchen sink stamps. These are also available on the Kitchen Sink Stamps website. Just a little guide to help you line things up. Okay, this is a brand new set as well. Okay, this one's called Back to School Supplies. So it's got the pencil and the crayons, and you can make those any color that you'd like. And I don't have a video for this one yet, but I'll be working on it tomorrow. Okay, there's one more new stamps, well, two more new stamp sets, but let's look at this Back to School Supplies first. I like the sentiments. Color me happy. You're a rainbow of possibilities. Really cool, encouraging sentiments. And your packaging will look a little different when you get yours. Because I'm on the design team, I was sent the prototypes a week early, so I have had them, and they are not packaged as they would for a person that gets them. For example, this is an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper for the stamp alignment guide, and your stamp alignment guide might not be that big. But the cool thing is, if you ever wanted to get a nice big one, you can go to the Kitchen Sink Stamps website and you can download the stamp alignment guides, the color recipe suggestions for the inks, so you're just not sure which color inks to try. There's a lot of good suggestions on their website. All right, so there's cute, very cute. I love that pencil. It looks so real. All right, and this one is called Class Notes. So this is actually a spiral notebook. And when you stamp it out, it looks like a real spiral notebook. And then it has some really great sentiments with a really cool font. And I still haven't played with this one yet either. I'll do that tomorrow night or the following night. Or I'll combine the one that I just showed you with this one. But I'm really excited about this release. I think these are some really cool products and can get a lot of good use out of these. To be sharing with students and with teachers. And my son's a senior this year and he'll be graduating, so that would be a really cool stamp for a graduation as well. Now let's play with the back to school digis. This is the notebook paper. This is the apple polka dots. This is the distressed rulers and the school alphabet. So it's a pack of 4 brand new digital printables that you can print with your laser printer and then foil with foil. Or if you don't have a laser printer, you could print them and color them. We will foil those in a minute. And the final part of the new release is the Baby Steps stamp set. I did create a card using this stamp set. This is the card that I created. You can check out my video. I'll have it linked below so that you can go back and check out the video for this card making process. Again, if you have a laser printer, you can use these to foil. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm trimming these down to the size of a card panel, and then I will toner foil using my Mink machine. When I trim these panels down, I'll have 2 panels for each design. And I am going to use an assortment of colors of toner foil to decorate these. Okay, the first one is the apple polka dots, and I'm going to use just regular red. It's just a plain red toner foil. I am using my brush to dust my panel as well as my piece of foil, because any kind of dust can interfere with the foiling, and that includes hairs and pet hairs as well. Recently I had like a hair, is actually like one of my hairs, that somehow got, because these transfer folders that I use, these clear transfer folders, they're very staticky. But isn't that beautiful? The apple background, the foil looks just wonderful. I'm really pleased with how those panels turned out. So now I've got the distressed rulers, and I'm using this foil that has tie-dyed like brown and gold. I think it looks really nice. So I'll show you that in a second. Now I'm cutting some black foil because for the notebook paper, I'm going to use the black foil to accentuate those lines. There you go. There's a picture of those rulers. Turned out really nice. Everything foiled wonderfully. Again, you'll have to have a laser printer to be able to do this. If you have an inkjet printer, you can print these backgrounds, and then you can either color them or leave them as they are. But by using the laser printer, I'm able to put them through my ink machine. Another thing that's great about kitchen sink stamps is these SVG files. So what I have is my Brother Scan and Cut, and I cut the ribbon SVG file that you can get for free when you make your stamp purchase. And what you'll do is just throw it in your cart. If you have a digital cutting machine and you desire to use these die cuts, you want to throw it in your cart at the time of purchase, and it'll come out to be free. If you purchase it later, you will have to pay a small amount to have the SVG file. Now save this part. This is what I call the template or the jig. I'm going to be using these parts as I do my stamping. So our school district colors are orange and black. And what I'm going to do is make an orange ribbon with some grayish black ribbon accents. Let's show you how I'm doing that. So all these things that I'm going to be stamping, I'm putting back into this jig. And this will help me to get really perfect stamping and stamp alignment moving forward. Kitchen Sink Stamps provides a color ID film with their stamp sets. What this does is allows you to adhere your stamps onto the back of the color ID film. The color ID film is a laser printed system and has the stamps in color, and the colors that they are colored in help you decide whether to use your lightest shade of ink or your darkest shade of ink. So they're shaded is what I'm trying to say. So there's a lot of advantages to having this color ID film. You can make sure that you put your stamps on the back side, not the front side. If you put your stamps on the front side, it could lift that laser printing, which won't damage your stamp in any way, but takes away from the storage system having the image on it. Okay, now it's time to start inking up these stamps. I'm going to be stamping the ribbon in 1, 2, 3, 4 order. So the first color that I'm stamping is going to be the lightest color that I've selected of ink. I'll be using Catherine Pooler inks. Okay, the first color I'm using is Bellini, which is a light peach color. I'm using a stamp positioning tool, and I'll use my stamp pressure tool. This will help me get a good even transfer of that ink. Okay, now I'm using Tiki Torch to stamp layer number 2. I just thought it'd be nice to do a ribbon in school colors as opposed to a blue ribbon, which this is beautiful as a blue ribbon. You can see that Nancy made a card with that, and Maria and Lynn. I'll have Nancy's YouTube channel linked below in my description box. She's made a couple videos so far using the new release, which I find interesting. Her tips and tricks. I think you will too. Okay, for layer number 3, the ink color I'm using is Orange Twist. And what's cool about kitchen sink stamps is because they're multi-layer, when they're finished, they look three-dimensional. They look like a photograph instead of a stamped image. They just look like they're ready to jump right off the page. It's just pretty incredible. Just amazing stamps, and you got to hand it to Maria. She really does a wonderful job with these products. Such great quality as well, and great customer service too. And our final layer is layer number 4. This one has a lot of detail to it. And I'm going to be using Mandarin Spice, which is my darkest orange ink color that I selected for this color palette. And now I'm just using my stamp pressure tool. Now I've got my ribbon. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. Now I'm going to just pop those sentiments on top of the SVG files that correspond. And I'll stamp those with VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And then we have our sentiments die cut basically because of the SVG files. And I have A+, and top, and best. Those are 3 of the words. There's more words, and I'll show you those in a second. Now we have all of the die cut pieces done. I'm using some Twilight ink, and I'm ink blending this circle. I'm not sure that I'm going to use it, but I'm going to go ahead and do the ink blending. That way it's ready. But you'll see that to my right there are other die cut sentiments that I stamped and used my VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink for that. And what I'm thinking about doing is having sort of like a shadow layer in the background with this other SVG cut file of the ribbon. And I'm just using that Twilight ink to ink blend over top of the cutout, just to make it look black, but I necessarily didn't want a full-on black. So I'm using this Twilight to make this ribbon darker. I decided I'm going to ink blend the entire shadow ribbon with Twilight ink from Catherine Puller. And I'm using a blending brush to do that. All right, we're down to the last bits to put this card together. We're going to use some tape to adhere a piece of black foil cardstock that I purchased. It's part of a larger pack of a variety of papers from Sizzix. This is just a real pretty black, almost a silvery black gunmetal. And I die cut this with Gina Marie X stitched rectangle die set. I used the largest die to cut this matte layer, and then I used the next to the largest die to cut the notebook paper digifile that I foiled with black foil. I'm just going to pop this right on top, directly on top of the matte layer. I also cut this out, as I said, with the X stitched rectangle die. And that creates a nice layer. And I'll have all the supplies that I used linked below in my description box. All right, now it's time to assemble the ribbon. And I have the orange ribbon. I'm going to put that on top of the black or the light gray. It's supposed to represent black. And I'm just going to angle it a little bit And from that, I have the appearance of a double ribbon. Okay, I'm going to fast forward this for the sake of time. I'm just gluing everything together. I did sort of angle the orange layer on top of the other ribbon that's underneath of it to give it the appearance of the ribbon having two colors. And I'm just going to make this a card for a teacher. And in the end, it's going to say, "You're the best teacher." All right, so if you're new to my channel, I'd love it if you would subscribe. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this new release from Kitchen Sink Stamps. Okay, here's a still photo of the finished card. Thank you so much for watching. Have a hopeful day. Bye-bye.